How does expulsion or suspension of California state legislators work? California's Constitution in Article 4, dealing with the legislative branch, Section 5, provides that the legislature is the sole judge of the members of the legislature and their ability to hold office. So Section 5A1 states each house of the legislature shall judge the qualifications and elections of its members. And the courts of this state have repeatedly held that the legislature is the judge of who is or is not a member of either the state assembly or the state senate. In addition, Section 5 of Article 4 specifies the procedures for expelling or suspending a member of the California legislature. So what's expulsion? Basically, it's removal from office, and it can be done by the legislative body itself to any one of its members. And California's Constitution is similar to the federal Constitution in this regard. In fact, the US Constitution, Article 1, Section 5, Clause 2 specifies that each house may determine the rules of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior, and with the concurrence of 2/3, expel a member. So similarly, California's Constitution, again in Article 4, Section 5, it states, and by roll call vote entered in the journal, 2/3 of the membership concurring may expel a member. Moreover, California's Constitution now allows the suspension of members of the legislature. And that's because our state constitution was amended by the statewide electorate in 2016 by Proposition 50. And again, Prop 50 was intended to allow suspension of state legislators. So now in subdivision 2 of Section 5A of Article 4, we have additional provisions for the suspension mechanism. And there are a couple of key points here. First, under Section 5A2, Cap A, either house of the legislature may suspend a member. Suspension can be done by a house's adoption of either a formal motion or by a resolution, and the vote must be a 2/3 in favor, and the votes of each member must be entered in the Assembly Daily Journal or the Senate Daily Journal, depending, of course, on which house is suspending its respective member. Second, the motion or the resolution must contain findings and declarations that set forth the basis for the member's suspension from that house. The third item is that the house suspending its member is authorized to force that suspended member to forfeit his or her pay and benefits for all or a part of the suspension period. And this forfeiture must be done by an express provision that's contained in either that motion or resolution. Fourth, a member who is suspended is prohibited from exercising any of the rights, privileges, or duties, or even powers of their office, or from utilizing any of the resources of the legislature during the period that that member is suspended from office. And fifth, the suspension of the member remains in effect until the date that's specified in the motion or the resolution. If a date is not specified in the adopted motion or resolution, then there must be a subsequent motion or resolution with a specified date that terminates the suspension. Now, Article 4, Section 5 does contain additional provisions such as a ban on honorarium, a limitation on gifts, improper compensation, revolving door prohibition, and the prohibition against conflicts of interest that you should also be aware of.